Alright, let's give you guys an update what's going on. I got a lot of stuff going on actually, and I started making a couple of videos, and they're kind of hit and miss because I'll forget to record stuff, or I'm too busy to record stuff, so parts get missed. So I'm just going to give you an update of what's going on, and as the videos come out of it, and you guys will kind of know what's going on. But it's a typical May day. It's actually Mother's Day, and by a typical May day I mean it may snow, it may rain, it may be sunny, who knows. I mean, there's rain on the horizon, it's sunny right now, it rained earlier today, it's like 50 degrees, it like snowed the other day, and who knows. But I been doing some farming. I got my truck set up as a farm truck here. I got my fuel tank in there. I actually have to go through, and you can see my fertilizer that was on here got wet, and I got to take this fuel tank off and wash my bed off. I went and got a tote of fertilizer from the elevator and spilled a little bit on the bed, so that's actually what I'm going to do now before this next little rain shower hits and I get done making this video. I'm going to pull over here and pull that tank out and let the truck wash off. But what we got going on is we'll do our little shop update here. We got the M is in here. Man, the camera's got a good glare on it. Ooh, it's even worse now. Hold on. Alright, that's better. So we got the M. I've done a few things to this and I got some choppy video on it, just because as I was filming it and working on it, I had people stop by, or I didn't have the camera, or this or that. So it is what it is with this, but you can see it's all dusty. I had it running, I was using it, and it just thundered. I was having issues, and so it's back in here, and I figured out what the problem was. There'll be a little bit of a video on that. Here is my tender trailer, if you want to call it that. Like I said, I went and got a tote of fertilizer, starter fertilizer, and we just took the tractor, and me and my grandpa, well, actually we was going to put it on another trailer my grandpa brought over, and it didn't work, so me and Dad ended up putting this on here. The 2010 picked it up, surprisingly, to get it off the truck, and then once I set it on the ground I couldn't pick it back up more than 6 inches, so we used the tractor and the excavator, set it on this trailer. I didn't want to leave it on my truck. I wanted to be able to back it in here. So it was 2,200 pounds. 2,200 pounds of triple 19 will fit in here, and the triple 19 is a mixture of DAP and 4600 and 0060 potash. So we only spilt about half of one of these buckets in the bed of the truck, and that was just because the fertilizer didn't settle down in here like I thought it would. But it's all good. We got her figured out, and I actually planted corn last night. I got just a smidgen of video of that because it was dark by the time I went to the elevator Saturday, got all the seed. I got 2 bags of corn, 8 bags of beans, a tote of starter fertilizer, and a buggy of potash for the bean ground. And by the time I got all that, got back here, got this unloaded on here, got the seed onto the trailer, got the potash spread, got the fertilizer buggy back, and I had to go to Casey's parents for a little bit and then come back here. I got the the planter set up. I couldn't do any further setup and calibrating to it until I had fertilizer and seed. So by the time I got all that done, it was like 8:30. By the time I started planting, it was 9 o'clock. I finished planting at about midnight, but I'm not completely done. I don't know if I messed up in my math on the seed side of things or on the acre side of things, but the way I figured it up was 2 bags of corn which corn, and this is the one I cut the tag off of, but corn is 80,000 seeds per bag or per unit. A unit of corn is 80,000 seeds. So I have 160,000 seeds. Okay, I got 5.5 acres to plant, and I specifically went with this trait of corn because it does better in a low population. Most of them are like 30,000 and up. This was like 24 to 32,000 is where it did best at. So I didn't want to have to buy seed and have any left over. So I figured it up to plant 2 bags of corn was 29,000 and like 60. The closest I could get with my planter was 29,090 or somewhere in that range. It might be vice versa, but I mean, I was right there, and I'm about half an acre short of having the field planted. So I don't know if it's on the seed side of things or on how I figured up my 5 acres. So either way, I got to get another bag of corn. So, and in case you're wondering, a bag of corn of this variety is $200, $205 a bag. Just so you guys that may not know what corn costs, that's what it costs. Beans, they're only like $25 a bag. So, but I'm gonna have extra fertilizer, and I should have that much extra, roughly. I don't think I'll need any more. I have the corn planter pretty much full of fertilizer sitting down there until I can get my seed tomorrow and finish that. But the reason I'm going to have fertilizer left over, we plan to put down 400 pounds to the acre, and for the corn planter, for the fertilizer, you have 3 auger options inside the boxes. You have a low flow, a regular flow, and a high flow. And I was figuring it might have had the regular flow in it. Turns out it has the low flow in it, and the closest I can get to 400 is like 369 pounds. So I'm going to have about 165 pounds of fertilizer left over, but I can put that down on my garden. I know my garden needs some and whatnot, so I'm going to have to get some regular flow augers for that. I can buy regular flow and the high flow through Shoop. Can't get a low flow anywhere from that I could tell. So anyways, that's what's going on. Like I said, I don't have any video other than just a little clip of us, me and Nick, filling up the corn planter yesterday. I'll try to get a video tomorrow when I plant in the daylight, finish that out, and then corn's done. And if you're wondering why I'm doing corn and beans, it's because the 11-acre field that I farm, I divided in half. So we're going to do half beans, half corn, just because I didn't want to go full on and invest all the money into planting 11 acres of corn. I'll go into do a price video breakdown of what it costs to do that, but it's not cheap. I mean, just between what I had on this trailer, which was the 8 bags of beans, the 2 bags of corn, and the fertilizer, was like $1,000. So yeah, well, and the fertilizer for the beans, that was $220. I know that for sure. This was for something, another 400 between them 2 bags, and 200ish right there. So what, 448 2 with that, you're like $1,200, and then I got to get another bag of corn now. So there's just some rough figures. Then we're gonna go later, we're gonna do it twice. We're gonna side dress with liquid nitrogen, so that's another $400 for the 220 gallons I need of that. But hopefully it pans out and does a lot better than the beans did last year. So that's that on that. I'm actually gonna work out here today. Like I said, it's Sunday, Mother's Day. I'm gonna pick stuff up. I got stuff thrown all over the place. My truck looks like a mess on the inside because I got tools in there from running around doing stuff. But projects that I was working on. The C65 still at a standstill just because I've got other things that are more important than it. The dump truck, nothing's changed on the dump truck. Still waiting on the part. I'm going to call Mac this week and see what the detail is on that because I haven't heard from him. Nobody's told me anything. And we might take a trip down to the field or not because it looks like it's going to rain here pretty soon. And I need to get that tank out. So I'll do a video down at the field a different day. It's actually quite toasty right now. But anyways, let me get this tank